Hi, my name is Sandhya, and the name of my business is DJ Diva Entertainment. Well, my passion for DJing came from my love for music. I've always been, around music, even from the time, from childhood days, and then I was in radio for many, many years. And from there, kind of the path to becoming a DJ kind of opened up for me. So I've always been someone who liked to be around music at all times. The first memory that I have of music is, when I was really young and in hospital, my mom gave me this little Walkman to kind of help me, distract me from the injections and the stuff that the doctor was doing. And what I found is that music just kind of, changes your mood and just makes you feel better. And ever since then, music has always had a real positive influence in my life. And so I've always been someone who wanted to be around music one way or the other. So a few years ago, a friend of mine, just mentioned that, she was looking for someone to come in and help her out with an event that she was doing. And since I was in the radio, she needed someone to help her kind of manage, MC the event and also play some music. And I was like, why not give it a try? And so it was a big exhibition, and it was my very first time. I kind of, set myself up to be there and never look back. Well, I kind of, have been in the event management business for many, many years before. Actually, I got into DJing, managing a lot of concerts and local events. So I was kind of aware of, the DJing as a business. So, and I did see that there was a pretty big gap for women DJs. And so decided that this was, one avenue that I would like to explore, because there are a lot of, in our community, women-only events, and women feel much more comfortable having to work with a woman DJ. So, that was one of the reasons or avenues that I really, that was the whole purpose of my kind of getting into this business. And it's been a great journey. It's really hard for me to say, pick a particular event as a favorite, because I think every event has great advantages and disadvantages. And I've done all kinds of events, whether it's a one-year-old birthday party to corporate events to weddings, and each event is special because for that person, for each of my clients, that is one of their biggest moments. And to be able to be a part of, a celebration, whether it's a one-year-old birthday party or someone's milestone birthday, of whether it's 50 or 40 or 30, or a wedding, I cannot tell you if one event is my favorite, because I think I love each and every event that I do. I have always been someone who has wanted to work and be my own boss, and even though I do have a corporate job and I do work a 9 to 5, being my own boss is my dream, and one of the reasons why I'm working towards that goal. Well, eventually I would love to be doing this as my full-time profession, looking into getting into destination weddings and bigger, events and venues and weddings. Been doing a lot of trade shows and getting a lot of positive response. So hopefully in the next few years, be able to set up a company where, I can work for myself and also maybe empower other women in this field. I think the biggest challenge, being a woman in this field, it is very challenging because most people don't take you seriously. They don't think when they see a woman being a woman DJ, they are kind of not sure on how you're going to be. They don't kind of have the confidence that you might that you're going to do a good job. So every time I book a gig, a lot of the clients are a little bit apprehensive, and once the event is over, they are like, oh my gosh, this was amazing, we had such a wonderful time, thank you so much. So each and every time, getting over that lack of confidence that a lot of people have when they see a woman being a DJ has been one of the challenges, and also this is a field where you cannot really do it alone. So you definitely need support from your family and your friends, because it's not a one-man show, and so that support system is really important in order for you to succeed in this business. Well, my business has truly been referral based, and also social media has been a great, I would say, help. Instagram, Facebook, it helps in getting new clients, and also kind of reinforcing people who are not sure of, they're like, where can I see your work? And once they go to the Facebook page or the Instagram page, they're like, oh wow, you do have a body of work, and then they are more, interested in working with you. I get a lot of repeat business. A lot of clients will book me for an anniversary party, then they'll book me for their child's graduation, birthday, and with weddings also. So a lot of people also, when they see me at events, they will come and get my business card. So social media referrals has been an amazing marketing tool for me in growing my business. I have a business partner in what I am doing, and so as I mentioned earlier, you cannot be a successful business person or a DJ. It's not a one-man show, because in order for me to set up my equipment at big venues, be able to between down, plan and prepare for events, I cannot do it by myself. And some of this equipment is really heavy. So between me and my business partner, we have truly come up with a great way of working together and supporting each other in executing these large-scale big events by ourselves without too much manpower. I think I have the proud a proud moment for me happens every time at the end of an event when a client or someone who's at the event comes and tells me that they had the best time ever. And when they will text me, thank you so much. Those are moments that I truly live for, and it makes all the hard work and the long hours and everything worthwhile. When you get that appreciation, and it's immediate feedback. Like this is one business where people, you will immediately know if someone is not liking what you're doing. They're not, no one's going to hold back and tell you that you were okay. So this is a very feedback-oriented business. So I truly live for the client appreciation, and that is what kind of makes this a worthwhile business to be in for me. I will say this, in the beginning, it's a learning process. I did not just, my first few gigs, they weren't like amazing, but they were great learning experiences. And even now, when we do run into challenges or any kind of difficulties, every event has some sort of challenge, or you cannot please everyone. I always try to learn from those and grow from those, because it's really important in this business. If you want to deliver good quality product, you have to be able to take feedback, negative as well, and be able to grow from it. Because if you're not willing to hear criticism about what you're doing, then you're just closing yourself off from growing even more. So I think a business being in the entertainment industry is really important. It's very important because I feel like what I do makes people feel good, have a good time, enjoy themselves, and kind of take their experience to the next level. So if you're at an event and you have a DJ at an event, it just kind of makes that whole experience on another level. So and it gives them, I think the entertainment industry overall gives employment to so many people, and it's great economics. So I think being in this business is really important. I think the misconception about being an entrepreneur a lot of people have is that it's not that. It's being your own boss is pretty easy, and it's a lot better. And a lot of people have this misconception, especially people in corporate America, think that the grass is really green when you're your own boss. You don't have to answer to someone. But I think on the same note, being your own boss, you also have to hold yourself accountable to a lot of things. You don't have anyone to do that for you, and you have to take responsibility and accountability for your actions at all times, because whatever you do, it impacts everything around you. So when you're an employee at a corporation, your actions may or may not have an impact in the short term, but overall they might. But in a small business, your actions are going to immediately have an impact. So in that sense, being an entrepreneur, every little thing that you do makes a difference. I can't really speak for other DJs, businesses, but I do know there's a lot of good DJs out there doing amazing work. But I will say this, I have worked with a lot of clients over a period of time, and people say that the sincerity, the level of professionalism, and also giving 100% to each and every event kind of does give us an advantage. When we are dealing with clients, we find that people tell us that oh, we worked with X, Y, and Z, and you are always willing to go the extra mile, and they are very grateful for that. So I think, and I've heard that over and over again. So I think I feel like that is what kind of sets us maybe apart from someone else, because we are willing to go that extra mile for our clients. So the stereotype is definitely there, and I think I've gotten so used to dealing with it over the years. The stereotype that, if you're a woman, how are you able to be out at all hours, of the night? You're at venues for 6, 7, 8 hours, long hours, heavy equipment. Do you think you can do the job? Do you think you can deal with so many people? Do you have the mental capacity to deal with so many people in such large-scale events and venues? So, that stereotype has been there, and a lot of times people are like, women are just there for the glamour. They're not here to do the work, and that's so not true, because women are just as sincere, women are just as hardworking, and are willing to give it their all and best in any profession, including this one. And there's some amazing women DJs out there who are who've been there for a while and have been kind of opening the doors for people like me. I did start a little bit later in the in the game, but I feel like the women who've already kind of paved the way have kind of helped with the helped in reducing the stereotype and the stigma that's attached to being in a profession with men being dominating all the time. I think the greatest lesson that I have learned is that if you are willing to commit to something, and be, and if you're sincere, and if you have commitment, and if you're hardworking, you can truly achieve anything. And I think that's the greatest lesson, because and also if you're willing to put yourself out there, no matter what people might say. If you're willing to do that, because I think initially when I started, a lot of people were like, are you sure? A lot of doubt. I was faced with a lot of doubt, and do you really think you can do this? But if you are willing to stick by what you want to do and set that goal for yourself, I think you can achieve it. I think the most important thing any person wanting to start a business is to know that it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to be willing to work hard, and also always be true to what you say. Like, you say what you mean, and you mean what you say, whether it's dealing with your clients, whether it's dealing with people you work with. Your word is very important in any business that you're doing, and also be willing to challenge yourself and be open-minded. I think the one regret I do have is that I wish I had started this sooner. I feel like I did lose a few years, and that is one of my regrets. And again, better late than never. But I wish I had started maybe a few years sooner, so I could have probably reached my goals. I would have been probably further ahead than what I am right now. So I think we never really got to a point where we felt like we weren't going to make it. But definitely, there are times when our business does slow down, and anytime that does happen, we kind of use that time to refocus on what we are doing, kind of, maybe up our, marketing, and try to, participate more in trade shows and do more of those types of things in that downtime. Because I feel for us, downtime is also very important in any business, because it kind of gives you time to think about, what you have been doing and kind of align yourself more towards what you want yourself to be doing in the future. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over, that's not going to help you grow. So in order for you to change or to grow, you have to kind of reevaluate what you're doing. So it's important to have that downtime, and I always see downtime not as a bad thing, but actually as a good thing. So I think for me, I would always try to be around music, because I think my love for music has been such an integral part of my life. So I think if I wasn't DJing, I would either be on the radio, which I used to do, or be anywhere around, making of music. Even though I'm not a musician, I don't play any instrument, but I just love music. So I would definitely, position myself to be around music. If I wasn't doing this, I would be doing something that would keep me around. Maybe work with a musician. I don't know. So that would be my goal.